This is Sutek. Lemmings and campers, oh my. So here we are on wide pants. I'm in my Tier 7 British Arty and looking for targets. And as I was aiming, I really wasn't paying a lot of close attention to what's happening. But if you look at the TAC map, we have 2 tanks on our right flank. We have 1 tank in our center. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tanks on our back line. We additionally have 2 tanks toward the front on our left flank and 2 tanks in the middle. So essentially, we either have most of our tanks in the back or on one side of the map and no tanks on the other side of the map. Not an auspicious start. So I'm trying to figure out how I can support the drive on the left-hand side. And you'll notice that slowly but surely the tanks that are in the back are pairing off and heading toward where we already have more than enough tanks. Meanwhile, our 2 tanks on the right have now become 1 tank. So I'm getting the hell out of here before I get slaughtered. So I'm pulling back to the line of tanks set up in the back row. For all of those people who are arguing that sitting back and sniping at the enemy, okay, as these tanks are currently doing, they have no targets, they have no one to shoot at, they can't see a thing. They're waiting for the enemy to come to them, which gives the enemy an opportunity to set the terms of combat. Since we are pushing on one side of the map, I thought I would go and assist in that push. So I ran as quickly as I could into position in order to provide some arty support. Given my limited range, this is about all I could do. So, while I'm still able to reach the cap from where I am, I'm going to see if I can help my team. What I didn't realize was that my team would suddenly come to a dead halt in its drive and attempt to deal with the enemy to what would be our right. So I see a 30, which is a huge danger, and even though I only have a Tier 5 gun on this tank, I've got to do something about that. There he is. Alright, so he's tracked. I'm waiting for my teammates to hit him, but already we've lost 2 tanks. You'll now notice the score is 8-5, their favor. We're not doing well, so I launch another shell, and another one. Doing the best I can against that Ferdinand, but without some support, I'm doomed. Meanwhile, look at the back of the map. We still have 4 tanks in the rear. We only have 2 tanks up front. Finally took out that tank. Trying to even up the score a bit, we're only down by 2. So, if those 2 tanks were to move up immediately, those 4 tanks in the back, we would have a chance. When suddenly I realized, wait a minute, I am the tank furthest up on the map. Even further than that heavy, which is retreating. So now I got to get the hell out of here. So, I retreat again. There's the heavy. And our TDs are still back there. Our heavy is still back there. And I'm pulling back. Now, I'm looking at this. We've got a Ryan's Metal Borzig, and he seems to be aimed at anyone coming through on our right flank. We have another TD. I can't get its make at the moment. So, holy Christ. And I'm spotted again. Now I have to use my forward drive, which is much slower, to get out of this situation. We've now lost our heavy, so the only thing between us on our left flank and the enemy is 1 TD sitting out in the open. So now we have 1 TD on one side, 1 TD on the other side, and we're about to lose our 3rd TD.
One of our vehicles destroyed.
It's just incredible at this point. There was no other conclusion possible. Where were they going to go? What were they going to do? Where were they going to fall back? How were they going to prevent the enemy from getting into the cap? Clearly, the only thing they were interested in was sitting back for just this situation. Yep, just this situation where they would be hunkered down in an arty-proof area, attempting to take out the enemy. Here I am as arty, and I'm just bopping left and right, trying to avoid getting killed. Now I gotta rush my shots. Oh, now we're down to 1 TD. Now we're down to just 1 TD. Game over. We had a lemming train on one side, no protection on the other side. We had campers everywhere. This game is a prime example of what's wrong with that strategy.